Now, the business of banking is at a pivotal moment right now because many of the established revenue streams are not as profitable because of the cost of increased regulation. And there is fierce competition from fintechs who are targeting the most lucrative services. But new opportunities are opening up for banks, especially those created by powerful new cloud-based technologies. I'm now joined by Peter Hazou, the Director of Industry Solutions at Microsoft, to talk us through these opportunities. Peter, welcome to the show. So what is the public cloud and how does it support the modern banking transformation?
So the public cloud is something quite different than conceiving it as a big data center in the sky. It's really a platform. It's a series of technologies joined together that offer a lot of capabilities that banks can use to build on. It's a core platform in the whole part of banking and the industry transformation that's going on. If you think back to Sibos 10 years ago, when the financial crisis first hit, and you alluded to some of the changes in business model and revenue drivers that are really changing the entire business that the banks need to do. So the cloud represents a really key part in that transformation. It really permits banks to develop new services and new platforms in entirely new ways to fulfill customer needs. So it's quite a big change.
And how are banks looking to the cloud for these solutions and these platforms to help them in their business?
Well, so it's really a platform. It's not, banks have to develop their own capabilities on it, their own products, their own customer propositions. But the point is that it's got a lot of very powerful technologies. It's really an intelligent, it brings a level of intelligence to the product development process through data analytics, through automation, through artificial intelligence, through cognitive services. There's so many elements that are just in the essence of the cloud fabric that are there to be leveraged as banks think about what their business needs are to serve clients in the new economy.
Are banks leveraging on those platforms, or are they still lagging behind slightly?
So it's a journey. It's no secret the banking industry has been, for a variety of very good reasons, one of the slower industries to really adopt the cloud. It's remarkable how quickly that's changing now. The issue is it's not a single technology. It's just not about blockchain. It's just not about artificial intelligence. It's not about machine learning. It's a whole series of cloud-enabled technologies that are coming all at the same time. So banks are doing proof of concepts. They're figuring out how to leverage this. They're coming up with very new and very innovative models. They're doing proof of concepts to test it out. So it's a bit of a journey that the banks are undertaking. But it's amazing how quickly it's happening. Thinking back to this Sibos a year ago, a very different situation. Banks were talking in theory about how to leverage the cloud. Now there's a lot of things going on, a lot of very practical cloud-first solutions around payments, around trade finance, around a lot of the core things that bankers do. It's entirely entering a new way to build and compete, really.
Right. Well, cybersecurity has been a key theme over the years, and still today. I mean, they're saying, if it's not my own server, how can I ensure that things are safe?
Yeah, I mean, very true, and it's a very tricky subject. Cyber is a fact of life, and it's here to stay, and it's a threat to everybody. And I think banks are the old traditional data center model, where you build a moat and you hope to keep out anything. I mean, the nature of cyber attacks these days is quite advanced and quite specialized. I mean, the one thing about the public cloud is the amount of investment it takes, the billions it takes to really understand the threats and to build protections. It's actually a core design. It's the architecting in of protections. And of course, that's one of the challenges with the old data center models, is that they have a certain starting point as designed historically. So everybody's trying to play catch up. But the thing about the cloud is it's designed with telemetry. It's designed with a lot of things as capabilities to understand and help better fend off. So enormous investments. In fact, individual banks to remediate for the upcoming threat of cyber is very difficult. So I think there's a really good story around the cloud and the trusted cloud and how to go about doing that.
What about differentiation? How will banks be able to differentiate themselves if everyone's on the cloud?
So, I mean, one of the good things about the cloud as a platform is actually it doesn't have capabilities. Products need to develop, banks need to develop their own products for their own customers and their own propositions. The idea is that this is a platform with a lot of built-in capabilities that can be leveraged. So each bank has to design their own products, and there's some very innovative things going on in terms of new business models, but even in terms of old business models and how to bring in things like robotic process automation to actually make things more efficient inside a bank, free up resources to do other things at a lower cost, because the entire process around the cloud is just you pay for what you consume. So it's a very different model than running a big data center.
And how are companies like Microsoft helping banks bridge that divide and make that transformation?
So the process that we have through our account teams, we operate on a very strategic level with banks and their CIOs and their CTOs, talking about what their challenges are. The lines of business are the main targets in a way. Those are the ones that need to transform. So bank product managers need to think, what is the need, what need do I need to do, how to incorporate through APIs, external parties like fintechs, and how to make better propositions that serve clients. Really true client-centric way. Banks have talked about that for years, but the cloud technology now permits them to do that. So there are a lot of proof of concepts, a lot of use of the new technology, but we're really just at the beginning. The only thing I can say is it's changing very fast.
Perhaps you can share with us just a few examples of where some of these successes have worked, where companies like Microsoft have been able to help them develop and...
Sure. So there's a number of topics that are quite big now. Artificial intelligence, we have quite a number of proof of concepts going on with different banks around how to adopt artificial intelligence. We have here at Sybos major announcements with a number of very big players, software providers in the ecosystem launching payments in the cloud. Really, when you think about it, the thing about the cloud is it's real-time, 24/7, 365. So for example, to do faster payments around the clock, bank data centers are not really able to support that in a very real-time way. So payments is a huge area. I think you'll see throughout this week with launches that it's really a new focus. So there's a lot happening, particularly for the adoption of PSD2 in Europe, but also real-time immediate payments globally is a major space that banks are looking at. But there's many others. I mean, it's just a fraction. Office operating in the cloud, office software. There's so many different areas. It's really a really big movement in the industry.
Sounds like we're kind of just at the tip of the iceberg, so to speak.
Yes, very much so.
Well, Peter, thank you so much.
Great, lovely. Thank you for having me.